Let me put my stuff in my pockets away.
All right, live on YouTube.
So it was like feedback looping because she linked the whole thing. So
we figured it out though.
We figured it out. It's dope. This is great.
We handled the phone mafia style.
Good for us.
Hit the body.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm glad I thought of that because we did that before. We did a live stream performance with YouTube and Reddit. When you could, because Reddit actually just stopped doing live stream music.
Oh really?
You can't do it anymore.
I didn't know that.
Well, not just music, everything. They stopped RPAM. They stopped it. Yeah, it's down.
Man, that's crazy because, like last year, oh shit, I can't hear myself. You know what? I think maybe we could just bring this bag out the room, like put it like in the next room.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, if you want to just go under the piano, that should be out of the shot.
No, it's not out of the shot. We can hear her phone is in this bag, feeding back the audio.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now I understand what was going on. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's on the table in this room. Cool.
Nope.
Oh, the master? Great.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's funny. But yeah, RPAN, I mean, that was really cool. People would do like therapy, like, you know, kind of like talk stuff, and they would also do like chill vibe sets. I mean, for music, they had like DJ sets and everything. I don't know if you ever chill on Reddit.
I've seen like, oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Chill on Reddit? Get lost?
Yeah, get fucked up on Reddit.
No, I definitely
scroll.
seen some, I doom scroll like hell on Reddit. I've definitely seen some streams, and I thought about doing it because I've like uploaded a couple of songs to Reddit that kind of like went up in the threads I uploaded them to, and I was like, oh yeah, well music can do its thing over here because that's what it's supposed to do. It's not all about the world, this is about touching people. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
We randomly got like quite a few views on that.
Yeah, I mean, we had sorry, I'm cracking everything. We had a couple hundred live and then a couple, I think, over 1,500 just on like some random channel. Like we'd never done one before so it was just like the live video, people saw it. Yeah,
that's a dope way to discover something new that you like. I mean, I've discovered so many artists. Like, I think every artist I like, I discovered them on accident or just through some channel like that where I'm like, oh, I like this. What is this?
Related artists and live streams now.
I was gonna say related and like playlists. Yeah, like discover.
I can't imagine having, if I would have been, whenever I was more explorative. I'm not as explorative as I used to be with music, and like in the LimeWire era. But I can't imagine how much more I would have been able to get in depth if there would have been like a service such as Spotify. Like opposed to Napster, where it's like you can go to the artist page and then you can literally look at every single artist the people that are also listening to that artist are listening to.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy that's the norm now. You just go scroll down on Spotify or Apple Music and it's like, what is everyone else is listening to this person listening to?
Yeah.
It's like, that's how I found Rachel's really who introduced me to Amber Mark, but like that's how I stumbled upon her.
So yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like, oh, it's this related person. Oh, she's got 10 million plays on one of these tracks. Let me check it out. It's like, oh fuck, this bumps.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah. All right, we ready to go?
I think so. You good? Okay, cool. All right, people live that might be tuning in on Instagram or YouTube. This is Crooked Conversations Podcast. We're about to start the actual recording, so you're going to get the intros and everything, all right? All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. Special guest. I'm really excited to have them on. Sleazy Easy.
What's good? Crooked Conversation.
Yeah, I'm really glad. Thank you. I mean, and of course, I'm sorry, James, co-host, James Keane over here.
What up?
Yep. And so you had reached out, or I think you commented when Alfred Banks was on the podcast a little bit back. James, when was that? That was like November, maybe?
I think it was before, a little before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sure. And our buddy Colton was here taking some shots. I was able to post those videos and everything. And I was like, because he had talked about you on the podcast. He had said something just like, what a dope artist, and they're really like this talented part of global warming. So let me give everyone a bit of an intro to who you are. I have it written down. I guess you on your website, I suppose you're alternative hip hop artist, but so rapper and perhaps a bit of a poet, and you're a fashion person, and also you are a graphic designer, right? With a right visual. Yeah.
My baby.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a bit more. So you're a part of the Global Warming Collective. And you have your own material out on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Definitely at least 1 or 2 EPs, some singles. Is there an album as well?
I don't know if this would count as an album, but like when I first started rapping, I was a teenager. I dropped like 15-song mixtape. You know what I'm saying? That's floating on Bandcamp somewhere. If you find it, you find it.
Yeah.
Let me know. If you find my first mixtape ever, I'll get you free merch.
Oh shit!
For real.
Okay. Hit her up. Hit him up. So that's on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we have some stuff on Bandcamp too, but it's all the stuff that's still accessible like elsewhere.
Right.
But it's like SoundCloud and Bandcamp are places where people would, it's where like the not major things can go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you have stuff on SoundCloud too?
Yeah, I do have SoundCloud stuff. I actually got my start on SoundCloud for real. I was on Bandcamp like releasing like also on Bandcamp, but SoundCloud is where it started at. I think the only reason that first tape is on Bandcamp is because I was afraid to upload all that music to SoundCloud. And I kind of just was like, oh, well, Bandcamp will be a place where they can buy my album. And like back in those days when people was buying an album, that's, oh my God, I feel so old. Back in those days, that's why I dropped it on Bandcamp. But SoundCloud's got like the core of what my growth is, like from start to finish. Honestly, you can still hear it just on SoundCloud. All my old stuff is still there.
The other thing that's great about Bandcamp for anybody that may be interested or in the process of doing something such as this, Bandcamp's great because you can sell your merch through Bandcamp. That's something that's really great that we still utilize today is a merch store.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how. Sorry, I'm adjusting my chair. That's how we. We have all the stuff on there, and people stream sometimes, and we've had some purchases, some digital stuff, but it's basically hard merch. Mm-hmm. So we can sell our shirts and physical CDs and stickers and stuff through Bandcamp. And they make it pretty easy, so we don't have like a store that we manage.
Right.
Just ship out.
I'm gonna have to check that out and see like compared to what I'm using now. Like I haven't used it for the merch because I haven't used it in a long time. I'm using the Universe app. This is not a sponsored ad. I'm using the Universe app. Definitely look it up. It's cheap. It's like I think I pay $7.99 a month. And I get the discount, like corporate shipping discounts. So like I don't think I've shipped nothing for more than $3, and they got to people in like 3 days. They do all the in between for you, and they don't take a heavy fee like Shopify does. Mm-hmm. The only thing is you want to do this for like if you have physical stock. Like if you have an inventory, I'll recommend using Universe. But if you don't have one, I'll recommend using like what is it called? Print on demand. Oh, yeah. I recommend doing that until you get the capital, and then you can move to like what I got because they let you have your own domain, own website. It's fully like customizable with moving GIFs. As you can see, my website got the spinning Ghetto Positivity logo.
Yeah, I saw that. So print on demand, is that like for shirts and hoodies and stuff, or can it also be? It can't be CDs, right?
I haven't.
Who the fuck uses CDs?
I know, right? But I mean, they have like I did see vinyl options on one of the sites because I kind of explored all the applications that Shopify gave me to see what I could offer because I wanted my brand to be a lifestyle brand and align with people just more than, hey, buy my merch, make me money, I'm rich in front of your face. Like, I sell mugs, I sell patches for people to customize themselves, I sell like merch to inspire people, you know what I'm saying? I got rugs coming out. So it's like you can do all that with rugs. Yeah, I have Ghetto Positivity rugs and they about like I think they're like 3 by 3, like 3 foot in a circle. So like you can decorate your house with Ghetto Positivity if you really believe in it. And it's I'm trying to make them customizable. So you can do shit like that, and then you can have like that advanced merch ahead of time, especially in this day and age where like you can go viral really quick. Like and now you need this stuff to be open. And if you want to do something different, you got to print on demand for that.
Wait, now, do you have any of this in stock already, or physical that you had to make ahead of time, or this print on demand is you
on demand? Like when they order it, they make it, and it's pretty decent speed.
Books are now too. They print on demand. Yeah,
you can just get it right then and there, which saves me. Like I'm a small artist, so it saved me from spending $1,000 on inventory that might not all get sold, at least in a timely fashion.
Or more.
Yeah, for real. Like in a timely fashion. Sometimes, like the first time I got the Sensitive to Energy shirts, they sold out almost immediately.
I know those shirts.
Yeah, like they was gone, and then I got another shipment of them, and it took double the time to get them going, and like it was like, okay, well, I feel like I could take advantage of something else and still have variety because I am a person who like to do more than one thing, and I feel like just having a t-shirt, I just didn't want to be that. I wanted to give them options. Like if you wanted to support me by getting a hoodie, like I wanted you to be able to see me, want to support me, and be able to have something to support. You know what I'm saying?
Completely understand. That's the direction I think that we're moving in for our band, the Crooked Vines, is that we've had the physical. Because once upon a time, you had to have the physical merch ahead of time. You had, it's just like a store. You had to have overhead. You had to get the stuff ahead of time and hope that you sell. Like you had to have the double XL and the XL and the larges and the like. You had to have everything. And we still have a fair amount of tank tops and CDs that they'll probably just sit there for some time, but and we've also been like, oh shit, we should make koozies and lighters and hoodies, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna front money for that,
right?
But print on demand, yeah, I know Louis Futon, the guy who's a couple years younger than me than I went to high school with, but he's like a big kind of DJ, producer, artist now. He lives in LA. He has basically that on-demand thing.
Oh yeah, I think it helps you create capital too. Like you can have just like y'all got everything sitting, that shit that y'all can give away.
Now
that y'all can throw. Yeah, because then you'll have this secondary store that's generating money, and then if let's say I've got shirts that are selling a shit ton, and I know that the next show people who probably not willing to order it online is more willing to cash at me in person for a shirt. I know to order 50 of these shirts to just have on hand, and I know what sizes I need because I'm seeing my demographic tell me if I have a lot of people who need 2X. Okay, well let me get 2X. A lot of people just get these basic sizes. That was my first mistake, and then I just let my demographic talk to me. What are they buying? Who are they? And then I get to make it.
Smart. That's that market research type of thing that you just do in real time. Now with this print on demand and the other stuff, do you have to pay? You pay a fee?
I do pay a store fee. Like one thing about Shopify though, that's why this is not a paid advertisement, is because the fees is kind of like they knock you over the head.
That's what I saw when I looked at so Shopify is connected with Spotify now, and right?
Yeah, and I think they do. I think they let you connect the stores. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't connected my merch on Spotify yet. That's like my next step. I'm procrastinating, but I think they let you connect it. And the more you pay Shopify, the less they take from you. But like right now, like I'm not in a position where I want to pay that because I haven't seen it doing that much yet. So I'm like, like it did good when my merch first came out. But like now it's like, okay, I gotta create a situation where it's gonna be worth that. And for all that, we could just create capital and have our own warehouse. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Yeah, the thing with the Bandcamp stuff is they take a small percentage of the sales to of course they're managing the website and all the things, and then we're on the hook for all the shipping. So we've shipped to London before,
right?
I was like, fuck, I got in Alaska once.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, what the fuck's the shipping? So now I'm charging international shipping on somebody's order. I'm just like, I have to, but I don't like this.
No, I feel that. And I definitely with Shopify, they let the customer pay for the shipping. So everybody's different. Like some people need to use DHL, some people need to use certain services.
Oh, yeah.
So it does with that, I can't keep too much of a tally unless I actually go through the invoices and see what people are paying. I did kind of check it out because I do have like you said, you shipping merch all over the place. I didn't ship merch to Australia and trying to figure out, okay, well, how much are they paying? So I know when I have inventory, how much am I shipping it all for? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely it's something that you really gotta look at, and something you want to hire somebody for, something you want somebody else to do, so you can go make some music, you dig?
That's absolutely true. Now, for some of these things, and I do want to get back to the music, but I'm kind of curious about these products.
Yeah.
You're a graphic designer. Do you make all the, the graphics for your products?
Everything you see, I made it. Unless I give somebody else the credit for it, for real. I've done 3D design, 2D design. I'm working on 3D animation to make, I want to build worlds for people. I feel like I like to create, and I feel like I could, my music, I feel like it does move people, and I've always been able to draw. I can draw like a motherfucker, y'all. I was about to go to college to be a game designer. I could do all that shit, and I really want to touch people that way as well. And I feel like when you mix the music with those mediums, it kind of hits different, and that's kind of why I feel like my shit is a little impactful, because the same person who made the music is making the visualization of it, so I kind of understand it more than having to describe it to somebody. But it does help to collaborate with people and be like, yo, can you do this for me, bro? Because sometimes I need that outsource. I need that difference.
Of course, you gotta take things off your plate. You can't overload. But it's so impressive. Do you use the digital pen and everything when you're designing the logos and stuff, or what is your process for some of those things?
So
I'm so curious.
For the more intricate things, really a lot of shit is just vectors, shapes that these programs already give you, and when I was first starting out, I was trying to do the best I could with what I got, like Mariah Carey said. And I was using circles and squares and triangles to make certain shapes look like a flower. And then my homegirl Blue, shout out to Blue, she gifted me an Apple Pencil. So with my iPad, I started to do more illustrations, which I hadn't done since high school, and I started to draw more and do funny texts and, exploring Blender and going to those, it's just whatever I need. If I want something 3D, I'm hitting the PC, I'm going to Blender, and I'm doing it. If I need something... Blender?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Oh, Blender is a 3D animation, rendering software. You can do 2D. It's like a sculpting software. it's not necessarily used to make games. It's more of it's like models. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like people who make games use Unreal.
I was gonna say Unreal Engine.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I know, right? I want to get it. Like everybody's like, you should just do it in there, and I'm like, fucking Unreal is like having a universe in your computer. My shit would blow up.
Yeah.
My shit would like explode and kill everyone in New Orleans. Like, I cannot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like definitely Unreal is like a big brother to
Blender?
Yeah, Blender. Okay. You know, but it just depends on what I need.
I understand. Okay, that's so interesting because we've been talking about the idea of like digital performances and doing it in, for lack of a better term, the metaverse.
Yes.
In reality, we can call it like it's just a virtual world because unfortunately, metaverse is now connected with Facebook Meta, and I don't like that.
Yes, and because.
Yeah, right? So it's just like it's really frustrating, and they're weird advertisements, and like they're kind of like pushed to try to get people into like weird virtual Facebook land that doesn't even quite exist yet.
Yeah,
that no one's using.
It's like piss poor VR chat. Like,
yeah,
fucking VR chat been here.
Yeah, exactly.
Second life.
So when we talk about that, it's more just like imagine yourself in Fortnite. Like those concerts that Anderson .Paak did Travis Scott did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's been a few. So we've been talking about that. I do think that's a really fascinating progression potentially for musicians to do like virtual concerts. It's something we've chatted about.
Well, mixed media exploded so big in the early and mid 2000s. I think that's like the natural next step to that is like, how do I actually feel like my body is inside that animation or that and we talked about this before, but like the originator of that was like the Microsoft Word, like the Microsoft Media Player, multimedia player, visualizer.
Oh yeah,
that was like the start
Windows
of that.
Media Player,
Windows Media Player visualizer in like 2001.
I remember. I think I still had that on my laptop like 3 years ago because my fucking laptop is so old. I think I still had fucking visualizer. Bro.
Everybody loved. I mean, I would sit there and just listen to tracks and just watch the visualizer, like
it's fucking Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites on the visualizer.
Yeah, exactly.
For real. Nah, that definitely is it. And like there's different ways you can do it now. Like there's so much meta shit going on. Like I brought up VR chat in Second Life. People was performing and doing shows in Second Life when we was in fucking middle school. Like
really?
Yeah, fucking right. Like people had whole careers. MTV did a True Life about a girl who lived her life online and like she had a music career in Second Life and she would have concerts that she would get tips for. And now it's even more like plausible because you can use like, you can outsource where your money goes. So you don't have to depend on Second Life to have a financial platform, even though they do because you can buy from creators in the game. Mm-hmm. But like you can depend on your Cash App or your Venmo or your Zelle to get tips from people versus like the platform. GTA RP is another place where I see people starting to take their music to because it's like a whole gangster world on Grand Theft Auto that you can do anything you want to do. And they had their own... What that festival? They had their own Rolling Loud. You can look that up on YouTube, like GTRP Rolling Loud. They had their own Rolling Loud, and they had any rapper or artist that was playing the game perform at it, which was basically them just letting their character sit on stage and like they played their music out. Which I feel like I discovered a lot of gangster rap from that I do like Young Dude, like you know what I'm saying, Rolling Through the Hood shit. Like I discovered that on there, which is a good place. And also Kid Cudi created an app. A platform which I can't remember the name. I met an A&R randomly in the French Quarter for them, and the Ad and I did a show on there. It's like a virtual, like they put you in a virtual space, and like they put you in front of a green screen and you perform in there. So definitely like there's avenues for y'all to like really do that shit, or at least practice with it until y'all want to do it your own way.
From what I understand, that's how the Travis Scott thing was done. Was he did a lot of stuff in front of green screen, and then they just kind of like. They made it into one of the Fortnite levels.
Wait, I don't think you watch it, but do you watch Mythic Quest on Apple TV?
No.
What?
I've seen Mythic Quest.
Oh, you have? I thought you didn't watch it last time we talked about it.
I've seen Mythic Quest. I think I don't know, maybe a season that I haven't watched or whatever. The video game show that Charlie Day's in or whatever.
No, Rob McElhenney.
Rob McElhenney. Thank you.
Well, it's a video. It's dope. If you have Apple TV, anyone listening, I really recommend it. It's the guys who made it Sunny, Megan Gans, who's a producer and writer for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, then Rob McElhenney, who plays Mac, and so they made a show. It's about the video game industry.
Okay.
And Ashley Birch is in it. She does the voice of what's her name from Horizon Zero Dawn, and you've played that game.
Yeah, I know what Horizon is.
Yeah. So it's got some dope people in it. It's really funny, and it's also a really cool like. Show about the video game industry and a company that makes games, and like it's basically about a massive RPG, online RPG, MMO RPG, and but they have like Snoop Dogg is on it in one episode, and he has the dot system and the green screen, and he does a live concert in their thing.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, so they show. That's why I wasn't sure if you'd seen. Maybe
I don't know if I've seen that episode, but that's how they tracked.
That's
the
exactly
Travis
how
Scott
they do
thing.
it. So they put them in like those, like the video game suits, that people do, or like Andy Serkis and as Gollum, they have like the dots. You know what I'm talking about? What are they called? Motion capture.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have them in there, and they're performing.
That's dope as fuck.
Yeah,
like you can be anything you want to be.
Exactly. I mean, it was wild. I don't know if you ever saw any of that stuff, but I attended the Travis Scott one. Andrew Speck did do one, but his was like a video inside of the video. It was different. But like the Travis Scott one was like
world.
Like at one point he was like as tall, like he was like 500 feet tall, and like he was just like stomping around. And I don't know if you've played any of those Epic Games shooter games. There's a couple different ones now, but Fortnite specifically, it's just like they made one of the I think it was one of the building platform rooms that you got to go into, one of the general rooms, and he's just like in there performing, and you can run around as your character and just like watch the show from wherever or however you want. I climb to the top of a mountain and watch the show, and it's like Travis Scott's just as tall as the mountain for some of the parts.
Crazy.
It is.
It was wild, yeah.
It's like that element of fantasy. It's like almost like a dream coming to that you can interact with now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me, I know all about that shit. Like, I'm definitely like the positive side of Chronically Online. Like I I definitely enjoyed the clips from that too. Like I've always wanted to do some shit like that, especially just being a video game person. Mm-hmm. Like that shit hits you differently. You know what I'm saying? Like especially depending on what type of person you are. Like I'm neurodivergent. I get a lot of shit from where I get my dopamine from. You know what I'm saying? And games and shit like that is like one of those things. And if you can like touch people through that, like you can connect with people way differently. You know what I'm saying?
When you say neurodivergent, because that's a term I've been hearing more recently, this, not a buzz term, I think it's like a better maybe diagnosis or something, right?
Yeah, like a general, like if you don't want to say what your diagnosis is, like I usually, like if I don't want to explain my diagnosis, I just say I'm neurodivergent.
Okay, I got you.
And then you see it after 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think everyone's a little something.
Oh yeah, I agree with that, 100%.
Yeah,
it's in the water.
It's in the water, especially in New Orleans, that's for sure. Because we have to boil it all the time.
Oh my God, yes.
So back to ghetto positivity. I did want to talk about that. Where does that come? Like, I mean, I understand right off the bat, obviously, ghetto positivity.
Right.
I get what that means, but like, where did that come from and why?
So, for like a few years now, like I've been trying to develop my brand into something solid, right? I've been trying to make it into something that's not a gimmick, but something that represented me on a corporate level, but also like, resonated on an artistic level, on a creative level. And there she is.
This is Jamie the dog.
Hello.
People listening.
Hello.
Yeah, that's what.
But yeah, it really just comes from like growing up in New Orleans. Like you kind of surrounded by this. Like I know there's some cities where the demographic is like these people over here and these people over here. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of redlining, like no matter where you go in New Orleans, you have to connect with people. And, that's why our crime is the way it is. That's why it just seems like nowhere is safe or whatever. And I feel like growing up in this environment kind of gave me a different perspective of what it's like to be black, what it's like to be in poverty, what it's like to be put in these predicaments that people are in. And, I wanted my brand to be something that it was what it was to what somebody needed it to be. Mm-hmm. So it's like ghetto positivity is what you want it to be. Like, if you look at me and you see something good coming from where you come from, that's what it is. If you want to feel more proud of where you come from, because a lot of us get sent to like all white schools or like, these different environments where, our parents and our peers try to separate us from the ghetto, right? Because they want us to do better, And if you want to feel more proud of where you come from, because ain't nothing wrong with being from the ghetto.
I was going to say.
That's what you see in this brand. That's what it is for you. And if you just love it here, that's what it is too. You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand that. Actually, I kind of want to pursue one of those things. You say like a black community, or let's say for lack of a better word, ghetto, and black parents want to send their kids to what we would call predominantly white school. Mm-hmm. Right? What is your opinion on the white savior situation, white savior complex? Because I know people who fancy themselves to be that type of person, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it comes from two places. Some places it comes from your ego, and sometimes it comes from people misunderstanding how they can help. The only way to combat white supremacy is to combat it. You know what I'm saying? And like, for lack of just like not going on all day about that shit. But like, I think like
you can go wherever you want. Yeah. This is crooked conversation. You can take
I feel
zigzag.
that.
You can take any turn.
I feel that. I just feel like it just depends, because I think from our parents' generation, they saw it different than how we know it is. Like, you know, obviously we're a little bit more woke. We're a little bit more educated. We didn't see what we had to see to know, okay, well, the way y'all was trying to do it, y'all was going in the right direction, but we didn't need to go there. We could have went here. And a lot of times, like, you get, like, black kids subjected to, like, you know, a whole bunch of mistreatment, a whole bunch of, like, internalized racism, microaggressions when you send them to these predominantly white institutes with the goal of, oh, yeah, I want to get you out of here. I feel like that works for some people, but it don't work for everybody because it depends on, maybe in the North, it might have a different result. But in the South, I don't think it worked that well, you know what I'm saying? But to each his own.
Well, it certainly sets a precedent. Like, what is the underlying subtext? Be like a white person? Is that the underlying subtext?
Yeah, because...
And that's problematic as
it
fuck.
adds to, like, yeah, because it adds to, like, the white is right, you know what I'm saying, mindset. And I think that, like, it's really just coming from a place of, like, our ancestors and our elders not understanding that viewpoint. Not saying all of them didn't, because they definitely had people in that generation that understood the damage of it. But, like, you know, it just come from, like, you desperate. You trying to just get, like, I don't want my child, my seed to die in this predicament that I bore them into. So what can I do? I can, you know, the only thing I can think of is putting them in a place where it's safe, where they have opportunity. Because, mind you, yeah, you sending me there to be closer to, like, safety or whatever, but you also sending me there because they got art programs. They offering sports scholarships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these public schools don't even have that, and also they putting your child in danger based on what these public school systems is lacking, especially in schools and impoverished communities and shit like that. So it's like, you know, it's just an understanding thing and growing thing. I feel like some people still gonna do it, but also some people understand that, you know, that's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is fix what we have, so we can, like, get it right for our kids. But that's gonna take some time.
Well,
so.
well, of course, that's a generational, like, those are multiple generational,
Right.
like, goals. But certainly, yeah, fixing the communities, not fixing, but improving the situations that exist already. And
yeah.
bringing, like you just said, if there is an umbrella program in, like, let's say a predominantly white school that has more access to arts and what we would call opportunity or sports or whatever, well, then you have to put those things in the other schools.
Right.
That
has to be equal.
Solution. Yeah. Yes.
Equity.
Really. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that Nate, we were talking earlier, Nate Cameron Suave he just got that new job that is, I think, community driven, right? What is it again? Do you know?
I'm not, like, I know that it's community driven. I haven't really spoken to Nate about what he's doing, but I know that what he's doing, we can be very involved with, like, the schools and all that shit. Like, I don't know his direct title. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. But, like,
I haven't done. Yeah, I'm gonna have him on the podcast hopefully next week or the week after.
Yeah, he'll tell y'all about it. But he's definitely linked into where we can make a difference with the youth. Like, we can start with them, especially since we so close to their age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I still use the same fucking slang these kids use right now. You know what I'm saying? I haven't hit my 30-year-old mark where I'm like, you know, like, I haven't hit that yet.
Okay, I was gonna say, because you were like, I'm old as hell. I was like, you look very young.
Yeah, I'm 28.
You're 28. Okay.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope so. I hope so, though.
Yeah, I am older than you, that's for sure. So but, you know, I don't feel, it's weird. I'm gonna be 35 in August, and I feel, yeah.
You look like my age, the same age.
Moisturized.
Period.
Thanks. No, I don't have kids. I don't have like a wife or anything.
I think that's the key.
I don't. Yeah, stress and good sleep. Like, I don't have a normal job.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. That's part of it for sure. I definitely feel getting older, and it's weird because as you get older, they have this thing where, like, the trend of, like, becoming conservative. I'm not becoming conservative, but that's like a historical trend is Americans, as they age, become more conservative. But what's interesting is millennials are going in the opposite direction.
Yes.
And Gen Z aren't old enough to kind of fall into these, like, surveys. So as I get older, I actually am getting the perspective of trying to see both sides. Like, when I hear people, you know, who are having a conservative viewpoint, what I'm hearing is, oh, you miss something, you just don't understand, or you're upset that the world is changing in a way, or people have a viewpoint that's changing the world that you have. That's really what it is. You're just scared of the change.
Right.
Not maybe whatever they're talking about, it's the underlying kernel of it. So I think sometimes when people become more conservative, I guess as I get older, I am having a better job seeing viewpoints. Even though I still have my own viewpoints, I can see the other ones.
I 100% agree with that, because the way, like, I used to kind of be like, pick a side, is, you know, is us against each other, but, like, when you look at how we develop, especially in a country like America, because like everywhere ain't like America, right? In a country like here, you kind of are conditioned to either go one way or the other. You either about to be radical as fuck or like conservative as fuck, and that's like nobody's fault except for like what's controlling that to happen, like working from the top down. That's why like I don't really be too combative with people, because it's like, bitch, like you're only that way because like when we both had to make a decision, you went left and I went right, you know, and you might have went right a few more times than I did. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just how you ended up under this system. Like the system is the problem.
Exactly. Systemic issues. Systematic. I completely agree with that. And I think a lot of times, especially when we talk about like politics, and some of the guests we've had on recently, we were talking about like tribalism. And the fact that sometimes it sounds like people on the extreme left or extreme right, they sound exactly the fucking same.
Exact same. Just two different viewpoints. I think it's just a matter of nobody should be able to govern over each other. Like, we should have, it should just be universal law. Like, nobody should be able to take away what one side wants, you know what I'm saying? Just because we disagree on, you know, the morals or something. You should be able to just make a decision to not do something or to do something. Like, that'd be my only quarrel with that. You know what I'm saying? You cannot agree with me, bro. I don't want you to. I would hate to be in a room where every single person 100% mindlessly agrees with me.
That homogenous. That sounds like some dystopian, like,
fucking hive mind.
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Fungus took over us.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
The Last of Us, you know?
Yeah, like fucking Unity. Mom, Rick and Morty, the whole planet. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, that's scary, man.
I'm a part of it.
For real, dog. Like, nah. But it just, you know, that shit is like so complicated. That's why I just simplified it to like, yeah, I'm fuck y'all. I'm aiming at the top. That's what I'm shooting at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I love that. I had something else that I wanted to say about that, but we'll probably circle back. That's so prevalent, I think, these days, is this concept of polarization and where we're at. So tell me a little bit more about like the involvement with global warming, which is a collective in New Orleans.
Yes. So global warming, shout out to my gang. Crucial actually introduced me to Pell, who you know, introduced me to like the whole global warming collective, because we basically like kind of all knew each other, especially as we grow. The more people that we already was close to, just, you know, they come into the collective. But basically, you know, the collective was formed for us to have an avenue where we could be successful as a group, as individuals, access to information, access to resources, access to each other. And also it's just a reminder of like the camaraderie of like Southern and New Orleans artistry, and why it's important to have that camaraderie outside of what looks cool. Because it does look cool to be me against you and I'm the best and you're the worst. But like, I think it's cooler to have something like what we have. So where like, you know, we go everywhere together, we do everything together, everybody love each other.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? You can walk up to us and feel the energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we, you know, we put that energy out there, and, you know, hopefully more people follow suit with something like global warming if they decided to not get involved. Like make another one so we could fucking make this bitch hot. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. So I really shout out to global warming. They really opened up a lot of doors for me professionally. Taught me a lot about my business, and also like they allowed me to see how this stuff works. Like me and him were just kind of talking about with the Pelicans game, and you would, as an artist, like everything starts off as a fantasy when you first see your favorite rapper and you know you want to rap. Yeah. But like once you get in the biz and you start doing these things, that's when you start to learn how these things are actually navigated. And I think global warming did an excellent job, and hopefully my homies could like, you know, attest for that we know how this stuff works now. Like, there is no getting mad, there's no emotions, there's no none of that, because there is a system that this shit flows through and that you have to just operate with, you know, which was really unique, learning and coming into as an artist.
When did you because it's been a couple years.
It's been a few years in the making, so it's a little like, when did I join? I was born into it. Like, just like everybody else into it, you know, like we came together, but I would say like it's been like 2 or 3 years now, maybe even more than that as far as the development of it, but like officially, like, you know, around COVID time and just...
That's when I remember the announcement.
And right before that, like...
And why that name?
You know what? That's something that you probably gotta ask Swab, because Swab will give you a real meaning to it. But you wanna know what it means to me? I feel like they saw us and saw the impact that we could have, and understood that it's not only local, and also like we warming the globe. You know what I'm saying? We say that all the time, like global warming, we warming the globe, and it's like we making this shit hot. Like we making it fire. We not only we making it fire, like we on fire and we doing our thing, but we making it hot to be who we are.
And you're bringing change.
Bringing change around the globe.
Yeah. I really like that a lot. So aside from that, where does your moniker Sleazy Easy, where does that come from?
Whew, man, it's been a long time coming. So my first rap name was K-Easy. I've always been easy. I've been easy in my real life. Like, that's been like something that my mom's friends, my uncle, them, that they all kind of called me that every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a real chill kid. Mm-hmm. And as I grew up to be this motherfucker, some sleaze came with it. I remember I was in the studio with Crucial, and he called me sleaze. Like, you know, I think I was Easy the God at the time. So I was easy still. Okay. But then, like, I was doing some shit, you know what I'm saying? I had my history with relationships. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he was like, you're a sleaze bag or whatever. And, like, Sleazy Easy just sounded like the most fucking fire wrestler ever to come out on the fucking planet.
And now we're now saying
Sleazy Easy. Yeah, fucking right. I wanted to be that. The first time I heard that shit, every other rap name was cool. But the first time I heard Sleazy Easy, I saw that shit in lights.
Yeah.
And like, I don't get too many downloads like that. So I was like, man, fuck that. I'm about to use that shit. That shit hard. So I put that shit on paper. And then I went and got it tatted on me. Like, maybe within a year. And I was like, this is my rap name. You can't change it anymore, bitch. Fuck your ADHD. Keep this rap name and dedicate to it and stick to it. And I tagged it on
permanent. Yeah, you got
permanent as fuck. And like big as fuck.
Hold that up to the camera one more time?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm from that dirty.
Thank you. Thank you for showing the people.
Absolutely.
That's really cool, and yeah, that's a really neat nickname. I like it a lot. I like the flow of it too, Sleazy Easy.
Yeah, and I love the little side names people got from me, like the motherfucking sleaze.
Yeah.
That is like my favorite shit ever. I didn't come up with anything about me. Like, everything was given to me. Mm. So like, what you hear me say in shows, what you hear me say on the internet, people came up with that. People named themselves sleaze bags. That's what they wanted to call themselves.
Oh, is that people who like part of your crew,
like my community, like community, you know, like
bags. I saw that on your website. We need more sleaze bags.
Yeah, we need like join our cult, like, because I definitely didn't do that shit. Like, motherfuckers came along and was like, oh, and I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? So
that's an amazing name for a fan club. I gotta say, the sleaze bags.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It is. It's fun.